Welcome to O2, which is the online onboarding website for store 16201 in the Chenal Promenade in Little Rock. I created this website as part of my instructional design class at the University of Central Arkansas, and I wanted to see how I could apply the principles of instructional design, in particular a hybrid learning experience, to corporate training. So this is designed to be what we call a blended or hybrid learning module, where uh, online work is married to face-to-face training. Now this benefits in a number of ways. You get that good relationship development and the rapport building that you get in an online training or in a face-to-face training situation. But you also get a little bit deeper and more meaningful training. People are allowed to work at their own pace. They can have time to reflect, and so it really marries some of the best of both worlds. And 21st century learners, which are a lot of the young people that Lululemon hires, like to have some control over their training. They like to be able to determine those areas. If they know something, they like to, they want to skip it. They don't want to have to sit through it if they already know it. They want to be able to go back and spend time to fill in the gaps that they're aware they have. And they like to fully explore their learning, and they want it to be very meaningful to their life. So this gives more time for that. Um, I use this to put some of the principles of good instructional design. In other words, you have all those areas. You've got introductions, you've got direct instruction and guided instruction, guided learning and modeling and independent practice, all rolled into one. And you have the very important concept of assessment. So we was able to incorporate formative and summative assessment in here so that we can continuously work with people to see what they need to know. Um, the other thing that's really important with this is that whoever does online training needs to be able to maintain good online communication. So the trainer, while people are using the website, needs to be no farther away than an email or a text or at times a phone call. And that where discussion is built in, that discussion needs to be continuously monitored to make sure that students are understanding that they're on the right track, that the assignments are being completed, and to identify any problems very quickly so that you can jump in and provide any needed support that might be there. So it allows sort of the online rapport and development. You can see this is the welcome page, the home page, and I've included a couple things here. We have a website tutorial that will come up. It is not completed yet, but the link will go right here. So if they want to get a little instruction, maybe 4 minutes on how to use the site, they can just watch a video from YouTube and be able to just get a sort of overview of how that works. I included a training schedule and dates that can be implemented from the store. It's just a Google Calendar. And then by when dates, meeting dates, all that sort of thing can be scheduled right here so that everybody always knows what's going on. Now, my part of my school assignment was to get one module up online, and so I chose the Vision and Goals module. So I want to go ahead and I want to take us there because that is the one that is complete at this time. So the learner would just click on the link here, and up will come this introductory page for the Vision and Goals module. Now you'll notice that the page shares a common layout. There are links up here to pages. All the different exercises are linked there. There's always the YWODs right here on the side, which really serve as the instructional goals. We have navigation links so that at any time the learner can move to any one of the links, and they can do them in whatever order. We don't control that, although most of the time it's best done in order. But again, if they already know something or have already thought through this or already have, in this case, say a vision, they wouldn't need to complete every step in the vision portion of this. This is the introductory page, and it starts basically just an explanation of what and why they're doing it. I have a inspirational video here to kind of get them see how it has worked in a practical sense in someone's life. And then it tells them basically, again, repeats what they're doing, what the overall goal will be, what they're going to learn, and kind of what they might need to become prepared for. And at the bottom, there's always a link that leads you to the next exercise. So you have three places here where they can navigate the website. I'm going to go ahead and go to exercise 1. When I sat in on a recent educator call that my manager invited me to, I noted that the new onboarding was set up in the what you called the tell me, show me, let me format. So I incorporated that because that corresponds to principles of good instructional design. For example, the tell me would be what we call direct instruction, which is the direct giving of information or knowledge. Think of it as a lecture or reading or something like that. And so this would be where we literally just tell them what they need to know. So this basically is a tell me function. It tells them what they're going to be doing. Here we go. We have a form now, the show me, which we would call modeling or guided practice. Both of those work. And this is where they are becoming present to their feelings about vision and goal setting before they've even started. And so I've incorporated here a Google form that they would click on the link, which is down here, right here, and that will open up the Google form, and they literally will just answer these questions. And then they submit the form. Now, the first question is always, what is your name? And ask for the first and last name. And all these answers go onto a spreadsheet that can be accessed by anybody with a link. And that would enable people to keep up with what are you doing, what are you not doing, what don't you understand, how do you feel, do you need more encouragement, do you need the brakes taken off you, do you just need, do you need training wheels, whatever, but anything that helps them make this a meaningful process. And then the let me would be that aspect of independent practice or at times even assessment. So here I've asked them to sum up, and then they would click on this discussion page, which takes them to a Google document that, again, they just would put their name on it and type in their response to this question. The questions are listed on a discussion page, and they would go ahead and get to do that. So you can see that this follows these principles, but they do this at their own pace, giving them time to reflect, time to think about it, time to build sort of that familiarity. A lot of young people have very little experience with vision or goal setting. It's not taught in schools, so it gives them an opportunity to learn. So that's how this works. And you can see when they complete this, they're ready to go on to exercise 2. It's at the bottom, or they can come back up here to the links. I would like to go to exercise 5 because all of these follow this basic structure. And I incorporated video, articles, Google Forms, Google Documents, all kinds of different methods. There's a rubric for how to do it, all kinds of methods that give them the tools they need with lots of examples and lots of guidance. If they have any questions, they can send an email or send a text or make a call, and all of that would be available so that they're not doing this completely isolated or on their own. But in lesson 5 or exercise 5, I've taken them through, they've already gone through the process. So if I go down here to exercise 5, this is the accountability and sharing process, and then this takes us to another level. On this one, you have the tell me, which is some information about accountability, what it is, how you create a situation where you hold yourself accountable, ways to stay accountable, those kinds of things. And then there's some links. So you've got these accountability checklists and a goal, analyzing your goals and how well they meet these. And then we get to the let me. And let me is to prepare for your meeting with the trainer. And this is where they're getting ready. The next step in this would be a face-to-face meeting with the trainer. So this is where they get together. Now, instead of reading to them and presenting for the first time about vision and goals, it's an opportunity for the trainer to go much deeper with vision and goals and speak individually to people about where they are in the process, how they're doing, what they need, what they want, and it gives a good pre-look into those kinds of things. And so they have to come ready with their personal vision statement, and they also need to be able to explain what method they're thinking about for accountability. And of course, you will know how well they're doing based on how they've done in all the exercises, but also how prepared are they? Because there's nothing worse than paying someone to come to something and they're completely unprepared. And since we do teach integrity, that is a core value, it is a foundational concept, it is part of everything we do, it is a good idea to establish those areas of accountability and the importance of accountability early, and this blended method does that. So it says here you can go back to the calendar, it'll list the meeting time, those things, and so they're ready to go. And finally, post-meeting, they can come back and in exercise 6, which is here at the bottom, it takes them through just any insights, what do they do? And they're going to take this time between the face-to-face meeting and the feedback they get from that and the guidance they get from that to go and reflect on their vision and goal statement and to make any revisions or amendments or editing or whatever they're going to do in their vision and goals. And then to go to the document on ULU and pull that up and log in and go ahead and print that out and post it and print it off and bring it to the trainer or their manager. So we've taken what was 90 minutes of primarily people being read to with this opportunity for people to progress at their own pace, to go deeper than they would in the amount of time when they're just seeing something for the first time, and really make this a much more meaningful process. And this is what my vision is for this onboarding training, that not every module in onboarding and in core training should be done online. Many things need to be done face to face, but where you can shift some of that information so that the online meetings are much more practical, hands-on, getting people used to things. It's a great way to maximize the time for the trainer or the manager and allow people to be exposed to new information, new concepts, new skills, new practices before they're all of a sudden called upon to perform them. And so I wanted to give you this example to take a look. The link to this website will be included in the email if you get this, and I hope that you like this process. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me. My name is Mary Beth Norcross, and thank you very much.